Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about more comments that have been made following corner cutting in Mexico. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X at James's Pit Lane, I'll leave a link in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. So let's start with the incident involving Lewis Hamilton. Basically on lap 6 of the Grand Prix, Max Verstappen went for a move on Hamilton into turn 1 and the two drivers were side by side through turns 1 and 2. Verstappen then took to the grass and came out ahead of Hamilton, and on the run down to turn 4, Hamilton went for a move on the outside of Verstappen, but Hamilton locked up his front right tyre and ended up going onto the grass. Now, instead of taking the defined escape road back onto the track, Hamilton went across the track and rejoined in third and pulled away. Now, the stewards did not penalise Hamilton for not following race director's event notes. There was no further action on that, but the stewards did feel that Hamilton left the track and gained a lasting advantage, and as a result, Hamilton was given a 10-second time penalty. I've spoken about this verdict in other videos that I've done, and if you want to find out more, I'll leave a link to those videos in the description. Now, Ferrari were not happy with the penalty Hamilton received, with Ferrari team principal Frederick Vasseur saying, as quoted by Planet F1, if you have the global picture, saying that Max cut the corner before he cut the chicane in the grass 100 metres, I think it's not very well managed, honestly. Because you're in Mexico, on top of this, I don't say that you have to adapt the penalty to the track, but you have to understand what you're doing. He took the 10 seconds. This dropped us at the queue of the group and we can't overtake. It's after the pit stop that you have no issue to recover. This cost us probably P4. Even with the 5 seconds, I think we were still P4. But with 10 seconds, now Hamilton was fighting for P3 in the race, but following that 10-second time penalty, he ended the Grand Prix in P8. And Hamilton himself was not happy with the penalty, with him saying, as quoted by Planet F1, ultimately, I feel very let down by the governing body. It's double standards, as you can tell. It is what it is. Now, in my opinion, the frustrations are understandable because there were other instances of corner cutting during the Grand Prix that were not penalised. I mean, look what happened at the start of the race on lap 1, for example. I mean, at turn 1, some drivers, notably Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, took to the grass. Basically, with Leclerc, he was fighting for P2 with Hamilton, and I feel Hamilton pulled off a fair move on Leclerc going into turn 1, and I feel there was room on the track for Leclerc to slot in behind Hamilton into P3, but Leclerc took to the grass and came out in the lead of the race. He gave a position back to Lando Norris, but not to Lewis Hamilton, and Leclerc continued in P2. As for Max Verstappen, he was right at the edge of the track going down towards turn 1 and was alongside Hamilton, Leclerc and Norris, and he wasn't going around the outside of those three drivers, and Verstappen ended up taking to the grass and rejoined the race in P4. And giving his view on what happened at turn 1, Verstappen said, as quoted by Racing News 365, I had a very good start, then you just follow the slipstream, 3 wide, 4 wide, I mean just following, of course, what the car next to you is doing, so I had to move left, 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 and then at one point, of course, you're on the curb, and then I started bottoming out on the curb, so that was quite hectic. And then a bit of rallying between turns 1 and 2. Yeah, that was quite fun. And then, yeah, got back on the track, found my position again, and then actually the first few laps were a bit hectic. Now, as I said, there was no further action taken for the incidents that happened at turn 1, but Martin Brundle feels there should have been penalties for Leclerc and Verstappen for corner cutting. Speaking on Sky F1's The F1 Show podcast, Brundle gave verdicts on Leclerc and Verstappen, and starting with Leclerc, Brundle said, as quoted by Planet F1, for me, at least Charles made an attempt at turn 1, didn't like the look of the way it was shaping up, so just ignore turn 2, and that for me was a 10-second penalty. But Brundle felt a stronger penalty should have been applied to Verstappen for what he did at the start of the race, and Brundle felt that should have been a drive-through penalty, and this is one of the more severe penalties that can be issued to a driver. It basically means a driver has to go through the pit lane at the speed limit and can't be serviced, so you lose a lot of time with that penalty. And Brundle said Max should have had a penalty, because if you put your car on the far left in 4 abreast, it will go on the curb. But Max had no intention. You can see Max accelerate. Really skillful driving through the grass, I must say, but Max made no effort whatsoever to take turns 1, 2 or 3. That should have been a penalty. Max took the risk on the outside, knowing full well he could just bury the throttle and carry on. The sort of thing, if the fireproof boot had been on the other foot, Max would have been screaming about it on the radio, saying he had no intention of making that corner. He didn't. I might even have given somebody doing what Max did a drive-through as a proper deterrent to stop the silliness, because then it all gets chaotic. I completely understand those drivers that were minding their business actually staying on the racetrack going like, well, hang on, I'm losing out here. I might as well have just made my own racetrack up in the first few corners and gained some places. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.